Fuck yeah, big dogs. This is fucking Mucho Drums from Great Electric Quest. You're listening to Doom Tomb Podcast. All you guys fucking get out there and fucking get some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Doom Tomb Podcast. My name is Chris. I am your host. We have all of the members, including Randall, from the band Wizzerd. Just caught them as they were starting their tour. We went over a whole bunch of stuff. It got real weird. Let's get into it right away. Oh, just one quick thing. I'll mention it at the end as well. Rocky Mountain Riff Fest is happening this weekend. That's why I wanted to get this out as soon as possible. You'll hear all about it. You'll hear about the bands. And I'll mention it again at the end of the podcast. Thanks a bunch. Here are the guys in Wizzerd. Damn, this has been a great night at Yucca Tap Room. I wish I could even... Do any of you guys know what the actual name is of the beginning band? The band that kicked this all off?
Yes.
What was it called?
Ted Cruz and the Anti-Vaxxers.
Ted Cruz and the Anti-Vaxxers.
That is the best goddamn band name I've ever heard in my entire life.
We saw their only show.
Yeah, this was crazy, man. So the band that was booked was 2000 Foot Turtle, and for some reason somebody couldn't show, and then somebody called somebody, and they got a set together, and I gotta say, it was pretty interesting set.
It was, when you kind of get a bunch of people together and decide, hey man, we got to fill in, let's just do an improv set. You're in for a lot of surprises. Sometimes they're very good, sometimes they're really shitty, and we were lucky enough to get a pretty damn good show out of it.
Absolutely. Now, in case people aren't familiar with these voices, this is going to be one of the second interview of this band, and now we have one of the other members. So, yeah, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Randall. Here at the Riff with Wizzerd.
That is quite the dynamic voice you have there. That's impressive. I like that. Can you just go around quickly, because just in case, because we're going to be passing the mic, just want to make sure everybody knows the names.
I'm Lane, and I play bass for Wizzerd.
The Warrior.
Yeah, he's the warrior, yeah.
I'm the warrior.
I'm Jamie, and I play the guitar. And I'm the Wizzerd, but not how you think it sounds.
Oh, yes.
It's spelled like all regular.
Oh.
So like with one Z and an A.
And, okay,
Like
all right.
how you might see in a children's book, because children don't know how to spell like we do.
They do not. No, but can you pass it? Randall, what is the handle that you have? What's your name?
Oh, my name is Randall.
I know that.
Yes.
But the name you're going by is?
The Riff.
That's what I wanted to hear. Can you pass over to this gentleman right here?
I'm Sam, and I play the drums, and my character is the Phoenix.
I'm Jalen, and I play guitar, and I shout things into a microphone, and I am the dragon.
Nice. Now, the last time I saw you guys, you were getting ready for this brand new release. Now, I don't know what time it is. What is it about? It's after midnight now.
Yeah.
So it's 12:45, so it's actually release day.
It is release day. It is out.
Damn. All right, so we got the CD out. We got digital downloads. I just heard it's on Spotify.
It is.
Now, let's talk about the meat, the potatoes, the whole
All right.
deal. Let's talk about the Cursed Tongue record release.
Okie dokie.
How did that start? How'd you get involved with Niels?
So we did a lot of label shopping at one point, because we felt that before we released this album, because we took so long to do it, and we re-recorded the whole thing, because we did release that tour release that you have, and you absolutely do, we decided to redo it, and once we redid it, we're not just going to shell this out. We're not going to rush it. We're going to find somebody that likes this enough to put us on their label, or at least give us some type of deal here. And Neil's actually hit us up about Doomchild a long time ago, and we decided to capitalize on that, and he gave us a stellar deal on it, and doing some vinyl exclusive stuff, like a vinyl exclusive track. So
A vinyl, really?
oh yeah.
Okay, now I saw on some of the pictures. Now, is it one album or is it 2 albums?
Well, it's a double LP.
Okay, because I saw 2 different colors. I didn't know if it was like 2 color variants or it's just going to be a double album.
You get both, purple
Nice.
and green.
Nice. And when is that going to be coming out?
So the pre-orders will go live through the Cursed Tongue Records website on April 5th, which is coming up pretty quick.
Right.
And then it will be available and officially released on vinyl on June 7th, which is also Jalen's birthday.
Yes.
So everybody, go get the pre-orders because I know Cursed Tongue Records does a very limited releases. So get at it while you can. Yeah, and I got to tell you, man, since the last time I saw you, I had the first download, which was King of Esbot, and the difference between the 2 releases of King of Esbot has been like monumental. And Randall is a big deal in this. Randall, can you tell us like what changed? Like was the recording process? Was it the studio?
Well, the first time we recorded was in the basement of the Wizzerd house where everybody lives. It's this big consolidated home.
Right.
And we had just gotten a whole bunch of new gear, preamps and all that fun stuff. And we gave it our best. And we realized after recording HE's studio on the playback, it's like we're building a studio here in Kalispell. When this studio is completely built, why not try just get that good tight? Because we have big ceilings, big
Sure.
drum room. And so just through rigorous testing, we got the room designed and the album, started recording. Spent how many days? Was it 3 days back to back in the studio? And then the 4th day, yeah, that's right. There's a lot of work involved there, but it turned out pretty good. We were pretty happy with what the process was after that, and just a lot of mixing and production.
Yeah. On the
into
4th
it.
day, the Phoenix rose.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's actually mastered this time.
It is mastered this time.
The album was mastered by Tony Reed of Mos Generator this time around.
Oh yeah.
Very good friend of ours.
And the vinyl has a separate master, too, so it'll sound the best on whatever platform you choose to listen.
Oh, fantastic, man. So what's the extra track?
That would be Druggernaut.
Nice. Oh man, does anybody know? Is that a private thing, or are we letting it out in exclusive here, or what?
No,
We got it.
it's been advertised that
Yeah.
there's a vinyl-only track of Druggernaut, and we've only ever released Druggernaut on, like, super limited CDs, and it was always demo versions of it.
Sure.
This is kind of the way to start the whole concept, but it's a very long track, and it kind of stood out as something separate, so we wanted to have it be something kind of special. So we
Right.
thought with the vinyl, we had 3 sides worth of material. This one song is basically a whole side, so we can use side A to kind of lay the foundation and ground of the rest of the story that's told.
Absolutely. Now, have any of you gotten the test press yet?
No. We've been getting pictures.
Yeah, I saw it too. I
We've
saw
been getting
Neil's
pictures, and we're like just crying, just like.
Stop fucking blue balling us.
Just give it to me. Let's go.
My mom sent me a picture because I put their address for the stuff, and I don't know if it's the T-shirts or the test presses, but there's a box from Cursed Tongue at home right now, and we're all the way in
Oh
Arizona.
no shit.
Blue
Please
balling.
tell her to open it. Check it out. See what's in there.
Tour's canceled.
All right, I
know
better
what?
text my mom.
And that's a perfect segue. So this is what, the second day of the tour right now?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you're going to be on the West Coast, and you're going to be just cranking it as always. But here's the question: yanking it, cranking it, whatever. I mean, I don't know. Whatever you guys do in the van is your own business. It's your own thing.
We're not comfortable with each
We
other
just
enough.
go to the left.
Go to the left, yes. And
Left
and
is law.
At the end of the tour, a lot of crusty socks, I'm sure.
Why use a sock when you can have your friend's throat?
Oh, he went there. Nice. Randall, I'm so sorry. I apologize for all that. So you got the West Coast tour. So we've done that. Now, what's going to happen in the future? Are you guys going to head to the East Coast?
Talk about that. That's you, Mr. Booking Man.
All right, Mr. Booker.
Mr. Booking Man.
What do you
What was
got?
the question?
What's going to happen? Because I've gotten to see you several times on the West Coast tour.
Yes.
On West Coast tours. The East Coast, let's show some love. When are you heading out to the East Coast?
This July and August. We are booking it right now. So if you are listening to this podcast and you live east of the Mississippi River and you would like to see Wizzerd perform, please contact us at wizzarddoom@gmail.com.
Nice. I get the feeling there's going to be a show in Brooklyn at St. Vitus.
I would really like that.
So that would be really cool.
Yeah. That would be the place to go, man, because Matt Bacon is in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and I'm sure he can help you out with that. And
Matt's our boy.
yeah.
Matt loves the police.
All right. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's an interesting statement. Can you share with that?
We did it. We
yeah.
poised Matt with the police.
Matt loves the police. There's not really
The
much
actual
more
the
to that.
band. Okay. Oh.
No.
So funny story. He was in a chat with, I think it was oh shoot, I don't remember. I'd have to go through my Instagram, but it was another prominent music business person, and they were having a serious conversation over a live voice chat. And so Jamie and I went in there because they have this little group that Matt does called Dorkscography, where you'll vote on a band within the group, and then you listen to it, and it's like a book club, but for albums. So Jamie and I, everybody's been voting in all this black metal and stuff, and Jamie and I have been kind of listening to a lot of new wave type 80s stuff, and we really liked this one album by The Police called Synchronicity. It's an album that has followed me since my childhood. I've listened to it all the time. And so we got it voted in because everybody wanted to laugh, and we got some other people on the train. And so he's talking to this other music business guy, and Jamie and I get in there, and we're like, Matt, talk about the police. Or, Matt, you love the police, right? And he's like, fuck you, Wizzerd, fuck the police. And he was like, I didn't sound racist there, did I? Because I think, or not racist, like...
He did ask that question.
Yeah, he was thinking that he thought that the other guy thought he was making fun of NWA for saying, like, fuck the police. Yeah. So that was a pretty funny little thing that happened.
Okay, so Synchronicity. Will there ever be a Wizzerd cover of a Synchronicity track?
I fucking hope so.
We should get a record label. Hey, Magnetic Eye, by the way, this is for you. You should do like a Doom Synchronicity, but stipulation, let us play one of the tracks on it if that becomes something.
I'm gonna have to tag.
Too.
I'm gonna have to tag Magnetic Eye. Oh, you know what? Synchronicity too. I'm wondering if look, you might wanna like take it a little lower, maybe a little walking in your footsteps.
Oh, maybe.
Oh yeah. Like literally any track off that album, it's perfect.
I can't play Stuart Copeland.
Yeah.
He's like the best drummer ever.
Like a little Hey Mighty Brontosaurus. Don't you have something for us? Yeah, don't you have a lesson for us? That's
Don't
it.
you have a lesson for us?
Don't you have a lesson for us? Something about years ago walking upon the planet so or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. But I'm also wondering,
Let's do
like,
rap now.
what about was it the track Mother?
Yeah,
That was like Andy Summers.
I like that
Yeah.
one. That one's really weird. That one's like bad trip fuel, or weird trip fuel. I mean, depending on. It's not my mother on the phone.
I imagine
It's just weirdness.
I imagine it just depends on your relationship with your mother.
Yeah.
It does.
It's a very Freudian experience.
Yeah, I think so. A little, maybe what is it? Edible? A little edible complex or something? No, we're no edibles tonight. It's all just smoke. It's all just smoke.
I can't stop eating marijuana.
So in continuing with the tour ideas, so there's this thing, and you know what, guys, I apologize because I'm going to be in Florida, or else I was seriously thinking about coming because, quite honestly, Randall, I wanted to see what you got. I want to see the studio. I want to, I think you guys as brothers. I love you guys to death, and I wanted to hang. I wanted to go to the Rocky Mountain Riff Fest. Do you have a hand in that? Do any of you guys have a hand in that? And if so, what bands are going to be there that you're looking forward to seeing?
So this is Rocky Mountain Riff Fest is essentially a rename of something. This is technically our third year of doing it, but this is our second year of Rocky Mountain Riff Fest. It started out as Fuzz Fest, and Jamie and I were the ones that actually started it up. When the first Fuzz Fest came around, we mostly did a lot of local bands, a couple Missoula bands, kind of keep it in the local area, Montana. But as the festival grew, we got a couple more names that wanted to jump on the bill. So last year we had Mos Generator headline.
Costa Casanova.
We had American Falcon. We play every year, obviously. We got to fill in that closing spot so, everybody will stick around. But this year we've got some pretty dope bands on. We got War Cloud coming out. Oh, yeah. Who else we got? We got
Great Electric Quest.
Great Electric Quest, yeah, the Quest.
Those guys are
Of
coming
course.
out.
Disenchanter's coming out. We have Cannabis is going to be there.
Spelled silly, just like how we spell things silly.
We have
Cannabis will actually be recording the Black Magic right before the festival.
They will.
We're gonna lay down 5 tracks. I'm really excited. So we got to see them live here recently and capture that. So
we actually have a good number of Portland bands coming out for this. With Young Hunter and we got Young Hunter coming out for this. It's gonna be pretty sick. 2 days. It's April 19th and April 20th. It's gonna be on First Street in Kalispell. If anybody's interested in going to that, it's gonna be a ways out for a couple people in Arizona, but who cares?
Realistically, we should just call it PDX Fest.
Yeah, I think there's like 5 Portland bands. Hippie Death Cult.
Yep, Hippie Death Cult.
Oh yeah, Hippie Death Cult.
Young Hunter. Lagoon.
Yep, Lagoon's gonna be there.
Ultra Mafic from Eureka, California.
Yeah,
those guys are coming up.
Those guys are
Finally.
Finally, it's about damn time.
That's awesome.
We've been trying to play with them for so long.
We met Tom and Cato. We met Tom and Cato from Ultimafic like 2-3 years ago when we first went on the West Coast tour. They came out and saw us in Eureka, and they were like, "Yeah, we heard this band from Montana was coming out. We were planning on giving you guys a place to stay, so we crashed in their giant house, and they give us a CD of their band, and we listened to it for like half of the way back home.
Yeah,
that's all we listened to. We're like, we got to play with the show with these guys. Like, yeah, the only reason we didn't was because Tom was really tired. He was jet lagged. He just came back from, I think it was like New Zealand or something like that.
No, Italy.
Oh, Italy. Yeah, he was from Italy. He came back from Italy. It's like the only reason they didn't play is because he was too tired to play.
He still came and hung out there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But of course, also in the festival, there will be a plethora of local and regional bands.
Absolutely.
Montana.
You got to, you know what, you're supporting the local scene. And I was talking to Randall a little bit off mic about it, and there are some incredible bands in this area. Now a lot of people might say, I don't know, Kalispell? What do we got? What do we got going on? Randall, who are the bands? What's going on there?
You have some amazing bands coming out of the Flathead. There's, you have Lucitones, the shirt I'm wearing here.
Right.
They're absolutely awesome, kind of like psychobilly.
And
kick-ass. They are kick-ass.
And they are going to be here in a few weeks at this very room.
Oh, definitely
Yes.
check them out. I think you'll dig them.
Okay.
You have Uncommon Evolution. They just got done. Their album just got done with Machine. Right now, I'm finishing up an album for Loin Hammer, and that's a big one. That's
Tell me about Loin Hammer.
Loin Hammer is, if you took Skeleton Witch and Testament and they had a baby, it's really close to that. Like, that's real. It's heavy. It's very precise. It's interesting to engineer. A lot of real fast, 180, 200 BPMs, just thrash metal. It's awesome. A lot of ballad, a lot of kind of like a little bit of spacey feel to it. Very, very rich, so epic.
Now, when you're talking Testament, are you talking Testament the legacy? Are you talking New Order, Practice What You Preach?
I'd say the legacy, actually, that's definitely.
The legacy, over the wall kind of stuff. What is it? Curse of the Legions of Death.
Well, actually, on the topic of death, that's another.
That's another influence
heavy
of them.
Influence for them, yes, and they're real tight. I've been to their jam space. They jam twice a week. They rehearse, and they are just so damn tight. I'm very excited for them for their album to come out. Also, heavy, yes, HEVVY. Heavy is just that, very, very heavy.
Nobody taught Montanans how to spell.
Apparently, so Jamie, is there an issue with the school system in regards to grammar?
Absolutely.
All right, maybe that's why it's WIZZERD and HEVVY. Is there something about adding two consonants together? Or?
What do you mean, though? Like, is there another way to spell those words?
You know what? I stand corrected. I apologize sincerely. You know what? I think I'm gonna move forward from that because I don't know what to say. I sincerely apologize, sir.
I would recommend that.
All right. So let's chat for a second because so I see that we have a whole new system for touring here. We've upgraded the van, and we now have a full piece here, and this is a monumentous touring facility here. Now, I saw a picture online, and I might be wrong. I'm not sure. Can somebody tell me what the fuck the Slave Gallery magazine is about? Pull it out, because I need to see this. And, you know, I'm going to give the mic in a second. Well, Jalen has the mic, but I got to give this to Lane. It's like,
I hope you're ready for this.
So I gotta put my So we stayed with our buddy Jordan in Bozeman, and he makes some really kick-ass art. Where he takes a razor blade to old porno mags and lots of different magazines and art and stuff like that, and he makes what would that be called? Like collage art. Right. And he actually does a thing where he collects Playboys that he'll give to people and like weird bondage mags and stuff like that. He'll give you the one from your birthday month and your birth year. And
that's beautiful.
So
how sweet.
He was putting us on to some of that and showing us some of his art, and he told us about the porn shop that he goes to. So we stopped by there and picked up some magazines.
Right. Now, you know, it's weird because I see the cover of it, and the first thing I think of is, Mom? Is that Mom? What are you doing, honey? I don't understand.
There's some weird stuff.
Yeah,
in
that
these
is.
ones.
Well, that's a blessing. It's a pleasure to kind of see that. I find that interesting. Will that be? What's the other one? There's another. Oh, the Pain Masters. Oh my God.
You gotta have Pain Masters.
Oh wow, we're quite into that. I see. Now there's Are you guys into documentaries at all?
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a documentary. I know it's like hard to get. I forgot what it's called. It's called like Grieve. It's something about tortured and stuff. It's all about this stuff. I wish I could remember the name. If I remember it, I'll put it in show notes. But yeah, oh dear Lord, there's a lot.
Very graphic things.
There's a lot going on. That I don't know. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Well, if I wanted to talk to her, I can call the 800 number.
We still haven't perused through most of these.
Yeah.
But,
yes.
Whoa.
Oh, well, look at her. She's making a phone call right now. And apparently, I don't know. What is he? Is he looking for change in there? What the hell's going on?
No, that's the coin slot. That's the ride.
He's got to pay the toll for the.
Or it could be the corn slut. I don't know. Okay. Well, very nice. All right. That was a pleasure.
To put it briefly, why do we have a bunch of FAP material? Bands that play together stay together.
Yeah. And like Jamie said, move to the left.
Exactly.
To the left. To the left.
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
The biscuits are always soggy on this tour, the extravaganza.
With a cream filling, of course. Yes. Extra creamy. All right. Fair enough. So let's move forward, shall we? So we had the Grammys recently, and High on Fire won a Grammy.
Damn right.
Okay. Now, it's of the genres. So what do you think the future is? Do you think this is a spark where people are going to say, yeah, you know, we had our time with our thrash and we had our, you know, and I'm sorry, everybody that's a Trivium fan, they got fucking butthurt.
They got so butthurt.
They got so hurt. But what do you think is going to be the future? Do you think we're going to see more acts of this genre at the Grammys or winning a Grammy or at least nominated for a Grammy? What do you think?
I think that with the times that we're in, that kind of angry music and more like emotionally charged music is kind of coming back, and people are getting more into the primitive human side of music, where music is supposed to invoke emotion in you. And it's High on Fire, you know, I think that it's really awesome that a band like High on Fire can win a Grammy, considering that their lyrics are mostly about conspiracy theories and stuff like that and fantasy. And a lot of their stuff is about some really fringe conspiracy theory, like lizard people kind of stuff. And the fact that that can win a Grammy nowadays is really inspiring for me, because that's the same vein that we're in. And I think that that's a good sign for just music as a whole, because it means that music that's about weird shit is being accepted in the mainstream again. Because it kind of feels like we ebb and flow for how music in the mainstream is. And sometimes it's empty, soulless stuff, and then we come back to having emotion.
And like specifically what it means for the whole doom or stoner, I don't think we're gonna see like the Grammys starting to throw Sleep on next year and Electric Wizzerd on the year after or anything. But I think what it kind of does is shows that that this type of music and this whole subgenre and its large supportive underground is starting to weasel its way into a mainstream thing. Like all of these bands that are doing this stoner rock thing now can be accepted more under the large umbrella of hard rock. So I keep seeing more and more bands like Cadaver and even smaller bands that are even sometimes bands we've played with playing like mainstream rock festivals, like your Rock on the Range type of things. And to see that be implemented into the popular rock and metal, I think is what really is most monumental about that.
As far as what I can tell, from the Grammys is mostly just a crapshoot half the time.
Yeah.
So I think I wouldn't call it lucky, but it's very fortunate that those guys got the Grammy this year. And honestly, to me, it's just a part of the climate. You know, everybody's starting to smoke a lot of pot. It's becoming a lot more socially acceptable.
Yes, it is.
Therefore, a lot more people are going to start listening to a bunch of stoner metal. You know, people who used to listen to like really black or like death metal type stuff are going to start mellowing out a little bit and start putting on some High on Fire, which is still some heavy stuff.
Well, I mean,
good.
if you saw Rolling Stone for whatever the magazine is or isn't anymore, the Sciences by Sleep was the #1 album.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so there's a buzz. Something is happening here, and it's such a great thing that you guys are on the cusp of it. And I can't wait for the time. Quite honestly, and don't get me wrong, I love this place. Yucca Tap Room is my second home. I can't wait for you to be in another space. Honestly, I can't wait for you to be in a bigger cap space to show to the masses, like, this is viable. This is good shit. And you guys got to go out and support and see it. And it's not just our underground community. It's everybody, man. It's there's something. Okay, so here's the thing. So I was the band Stonewitch. They were on the bill.
Absolutely.
So they're playing, and there were like, I don't know if you saw, like there was 3-4 guys next to me, and they all said to me like, we're hip hop, we're straight hip hop guys, we're rap guys. What the fuck is going on here? And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, this is fantastic. And you saw them, man. I don't know if you saw them. These guys were banging their heads, and they were throwing down. And I saw this moment. There's a song that Stonewitch has called Arc, and as soon as that riff hit, I saw the guy looking to the guys like, this could be a sample. This could be something that we could turn into something in the hip hop community. Have you guys ever thought of any kind of crossover with that, or is that something that's like not yet ready?
I've seen a lot of like hip hop recently, just from my friends that are more versed in that scene and all that know bands and artists. There's a lot of hip hop guys that it's almost like bands like Rings of Saturn and stuff like that, where it's like tech death, but it's like hip hop. And I don't necessarily see us doing stuff like that, but I mean, we all had kind of our phase in high school of, we only listen to certain types of music, or like, that's not real music or something like that. But we've all been kind of opening up our music taste, trying to expand it as much as we can. And I don't necessarily see us playing hip hop as Wizzerd, but we do like hip hop as musicians. Some of us do.
Like maybe
Well, I do.
hop or something?
Well, no, I do have a project right now. Last summer, we
Right.
started jamming at the studio with some guys. A guy came up from California, and it just kind of turned. It was started like a deserty rock type thing.
Okay.
But then we got this guy named Derek Church. He came in there and he started doing lyrics, and it was like hip hop lyrics. And we're going, holy shit. This actually works. It kind of sounds like Rage.
Right.
But I have a very, a doom, deserty feel in my guitar playing. And so it was interesting as we were playing these hip-hop shows in the Valley, and the hip-hop kids were loving that heavy tone, and they're
Right.
starting to go to those shows, and they're starting to want to come to the metal shows now. So I know that there is a great allure there.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
I think a lot of what's happening with when we've been finding new bands recently that aren't necessarily in under the stoner doom umbrella. Like recently, we were kind of tooling around with some bands in the grunge, female punk grunge type of area. A couple bands like Screaming Females and another band, Skating Polly, and it's really dark and emotional type stuff, and it's like something you cry your mascara off to and shit. But we've been breaking into that, and the thing with it is musical tastes evolve, but it also seems like sometimes you just need to be shown that type of music, and you're like you didn't know that you would like something like this. And that's what's happening with the hip-hop guys in our town, or people who come up to us after a show and say, I've never liked metal, but I really like your guys' stuff. It's like they just need to be shown that. And I think this whole thing, the High on Fire winning a Grammy is sort of an apex in a ripple effect, really.
Right.
Because we've been seeing Doom grow ever since pretty much we started. Because we're always excited about XEVVY happening. Red Fang, rest in peace, Seth Rogen. We have Red Fang getting their Scion deal, or the Sword being on freaking Guitar Hero, or XEVVY, and it's just kind of it's the apex of the ripple that I've seen so far.
Right.
Well, I guess in my personal opinion, because the Grammys are always something you see that's it's always shoved in your face. It's the most popular thing. It's the quote unquote biggest thing for music,
Sure.
Well,
sure.
in the eyes of the media, I suppose. And so when you have a band in your genre winning something like that, and you're kind of wondering what's the next big ripple, and it
Right.
paves the way for bands like us. Or
Absolutely
bands
does.
who are our peers within this community. It's
I think also the idea of, and it's great to have a whole bunch of people in the same genre on the bill, but it's also kind of good sometimes to have a little bit of a mixed bill.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw a little bit of it tonight. The opening band, it fit, but they're not quite of this. I'm sure if I asked them about 10 stoner doom bands, they probably wouldn't know. But I think it fit well, and and I think that's a future. I think maybe there's some collaborations down the line that'll bring something. Like years ago, I saw the band Madball, and Madball's a hardcore New York hardcore band, and they had a hip hop artist open up, and the guy crushed, and everybody was cheering, and they were banging their heads to this guy, and it was mind-conscious hip-hop. It wasn't, the mumble rap or whatever you're hearing now. It was socially conscious. It had a message, and everybody loved it. He thought it was, fantastic. So, all right. Well, thanks for that, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to switch gears, and I want to talk about, because I know you got this album coming out, and that's fantastic, and I wish you the best of luck with it, but now we got to focus on new material. So what the hell's happening? Yeah, I know this music has been circling for a while. You've been honing it. You've been getting it to the sharp point that it is, and you got the release. So now what? What's coming up?
Well, yeah, as going through some of talking to a few record labels, we've actually been talking back and forth with a prospective buyer, I guess, that maybe we're wanting to send some higher quality demos of some of the stuff we have for album 3. Hopefully looking at getting into, another record deal down the line. Just kind of keep ourselves going. We have plenty of tracks written for album 3 already.
Musically, it is so we kind of hold ourselves in over the winter in hibernation, and we've just been writing music. And like Lane was saying earlier, we've all been kind of listening to different things as we've been going, and it's kind of been affecting how we write music. And so some of the new songs we've been writing sound absolutely nothing like previous Wizzerd songs, while some of them sound like they would fit right in with the same record but have a different kind of feel. Right. But the whole central theme is space and all the things that go along with it, from adventure to loneliness.
Yeah. And if you really know if you know a wide range of music, or you know a lot of bands, you might be able to pick up on a lot of the influences, because some of them, I don't know, in some of the recent writing, some of the influences seem a little bit blatant yet subtle, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Like all of our music.
It's hidden in plain sight.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard of the sword.
Well, what's a sword, dude?
I don't understand. What's the voice of Monster Magnet or something?
Oh yeah.
There we are.
Windorf. I don't sound like Dave Windorf. Stop saying I sound like Dave Windorf.
So you got anything like maybe demoed yet, or what do we got going on?
I think the highest quality demo we have right now is still Doom Machine, isn't it?
Yeah, when we very first tested the studio, after set up all the mics, got everything, we did some let's check it out, let's fire it up, see how it sounds, and Doom Machine, which is coming up next, really popped. It sounds amazing. So I'm excited to get in there and work on that again. And at the rate that we're going, we're able to actually go in the studio and knock out a song pretty quick now. We're efficient together. We know the studio. We know what we're working with. So I would say these songs are going to be, and we expect something before long.
And we experienced a bit of that speed and growing efficiency in using the studio when we did this track. Do you know Glory or Death Records?
Of course I do.
Of course, the Great Electric Quest guys and the Cook guys.
T-Sweat.
Yeah.
And T-Sweat
Buddy
and Jeff from Kook.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they run that label, and they're doing that Thin Lizzy compilation.
Yeah.
With Eye on Fire, as well, as we've been talking about. And we were lucky enough to be able to be included on the second part of the Thin Lizzy.
Wow, what track?
We are doing a Ray Gun, which is off of their very first record.
Nice.
And so it kind of fits in with our whole space theme that we're going for next
Sure.
with the Ray Gun. But we went in there and tracked it on a Saturday, and the following Saturday we sent it off. And it was done.
We're no longer walking through the desert. Now we've got the rocket ship.
We're eating pussy in space.
And we're going up. Eating pussies. All
There's
right.
a song about that.
Oh, very good. Very good. Is there, I mean, do you suggest anything when you do that, or?
It's called zorping. And you don't, it's like drinking and driving. Don't zorp and warp.
Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough.
Because zorping, eating this specific species of alien vagina.
Yes, alien vagina,
The
sure.
secreted fluids
Yes.
have psychedelic effects.
Oh, yes.
You must not zorp while in warp because it is dangerous, but we do it anyway.
If just a quick question. So, if you're this fluid, I mean, personally, I like flavor. I don't like things bland. So, is there anything like maybe a cherry lifesaver to be inserted into the alien to provide a cherry liquid?
No, there's no flavoring needed. You think of the flavor that you want, and it's there.
And it's there.
It's there.
Very nice.
It's just all in your.
It's a living fluid. It modifies to your taste buds.
It's all in your imagination. If you believe it, you will achieve it.
Power perceived is power achieved. That's the way I always look at it. That's my story, man.
One quote we'll take away from this interview. If you believe it, you will achieve it, Wizzerd.
That's dumb. Forget that one. Live fast, eat ass.
Live fast, eat ass. Oh, yeah. Right on. Okay, so before we get into some rapid fire stuff, could you pass the mic to Randall, please? Sure. Randall, tell us, so people know to come to Montana, talk to us a little bit about the studio and what you got, and who are some other acts that you're working with?
Currently, like I said earlier, working with Loin Hammer. Their album I'm hoping to have done in April.
Right.
But it's quite a bit of work there. I'm currently working on another band called Lobotabot. They are a little bit of a hip-hop vocals at times, but mostly just they're very doomy. They have a little bit of groove to them. I'm very excited about that. That's going to be a 5-tracker.
Right.
It's one of those. The Lobotabot album is very much so a concept album. Each song comes with a very almost 2 to 3 chapters worth of a novel worth of story to it.
Sure.
And it's designed to be very visual as well as audible when you listen to it, like the movie's Missing.
Yeah, that's the concept. It's a concept.
Then the third one right now is Doja. That's the one I was talking about earlier that we started last summer.
DOJA.
DOJA. Yeah, just kind of it's like kind of rage, but a little more doomy.
Sure. And I know on a previous phoner that I did with Jamie, we found out about the Game of Thrones toilet. That is a piece, man. Yeah, pass that over to Jamie, will you?
Yeah. Our basement has the world's most interesting toilets. So if you play in a band, you should come play in Kalispell so that you can see our toilet.
Is there anything else in Kalispell, or is it just the toilet?
Just our
There's the record store
Just the toilet.
Yeah.
and our toilet.
and our toilet.
That's about
And our toilet. Okay, fair enough. All right.
Come see the Wizzerd toilet.
Sometimes they are the same thing.
We have postcards.
Are you gonna be putting like knives and stuff around the back of the toilet to?
We put them in, they come up.
Oh, it's old school.
bowl.
It's Metallica, metal up your ass. Like you're really making it come to life. God bless you, man.
Sharp, painful metal up your ass. Very sharp, painful metal up your ass.
It's more of a safety retention than anything.
Gotcha.
Keeps you from falling off the bowl, you know.
Understood. All right. Are we ready for some quicker questions?
Sure. I believe Sam is probably pooping. He's been gone a while.
Oh yeah, Sam.
Could
I
be
think
number
he's
two.
floating the brown trout over there. All right.
Hopefully
So
they don't have knives in these toilets.
okay. Comedy. Favorite comic. Who do you choose?
George Carlin by far.
Okay. Anybody else? Because I got to tell you, one of my favorites, Weird Al.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Okay.
have to say, what's his
He's not a
name?
stand-up comic, but he's
Who's Toast? What's his actual name?
Oh, you're talking about Matt Berry?
Matt Berry.
Stephen Toast.
Stephen Toast.
Steven, I don't know that guy.
Oh,
You gotta check it
Toast
out.
of London is the TV show.
Is it on Hulu?
Yeah,
It's
it's
on- yeah,
no,
it's on-
it's on
That's
Netflix.
on Netflix.
It's called Toast of London. It's a British show with no laugh track, and it's got Matt Berry in it, and he plays Stephen Toast, which is like a cut rate actor, extra kind of guy, and it's just fucking hilarious. The way he says everything is so funny.
If I had a specific favorite funny man, it would probably be Reggie Watts. But in terms of comedian comic,
Right.
probably Brian Posehn.
Brian Posehn. Yeah.
Just because
he's
metal dude and he makes fart jokes all the time. It's
live
funny.
and fart and wiener jokes.
Fart and wiener jokes. It's-
Live and nerd rage.
And the fartist.
Yes, the fartist. You can't forget that. I got to go with David Tell. I'm sorry.
Yeah?
David Tell just fucking crushes me every time. What was the last binge watch you had?
Mine was Trailer Park Boys. I've watched it again for the 4th or 5th time. Finally got through season 12 because I'm a slacker.
I just got through Legion. That was an interesting show, really different. Kind of based off a comic book.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
It's
okay.
like a asylum. Everybody's got something going on upstairs, and
Right.
Extends out into the real world. Trippy
Okay.
concept, hard to follow if you start in the middle. Not going to work.
Right. Yeah, you got to follow it through.
The overall is pretty damn good, though.
Okay, Jamie?
Finally circling back to King of the Hill. I've seen all the other shows like that, and so
Yeah.
I'm about
Propane,
I'm only
Propane
4 or 5
accessory.
seasons in, really, but getting there. And It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Those are 2 shows I've been
watching that
sleeping
one a
on for
little
too long.
I guess the most recent one.
Yeah, I know. We keep passing the mic back and forth. I apologize.
Is,
I'd love
guess
to get
the-
a headset someday. Oh, that's
Right.
nice. That feels good. Did you see it? It's hard because this is not video, but Jamie started rubbing the microphone. It actually grew.
You want to hear it?
This is an ASMR podcast now.
Oh, this is nice.
I am now going to rub Chris's head.
Easy. Oh, just a tip, please.
Okay.
Okay. So what was your binge?
It's been King of the Hill recently. I guess I don't know. I have a hard time keeping up with shows.
That's
Hard to stay
okay.
on top of them. Letterkenny too.
haven't been binging it, though.
I haven't been binging it, but I've been sleeping on literally every show that I watch.
Okay.
But Letterkenny, that's a good one.
All right. What were we going to say, Randall?
I just said hard no.
Hard no.
Okay. Favorite childhood toy?
Vibrator.
Don't say your. I know. Jamie's like, yeah, it's got to be my dick. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, my pee-pee.
Oh, all right. I got you. All right. Favorite childhood toy?
I mean, the SNES was pretty much my childhood right there. Gotta love that. Oh yeah, that and Ninja Turtles are pretty rad.
So, I remember there was a couple handful of things I had when I was a kid, when I was a growing adolescent child. I had a very large affinity for Spider-Man, and my mom got me like this. Was it like 48 or 50 something different opposable joints, like 2 foot tall Spider-Man action figure, and I loved the fuck out of that thing. I also had a little tiny Spider-Man pinball machine, and that was also my favorite.
Right on. Okay.
So when I was a young boy, my favorite toy was the guitar. I
Yeah?
picked it up when I was 6 months old, and I knew at that very moment that I was destined to become a rock god.
Is that what it was?
That's what it was.
Oh, that's nice.
For
man.
real though, Guitar Hero is an honorable mention.
There you go.
Kind of
That works.
drawing a blank, but honorable mention to Guitar Hero.
I don't know if we discussed this in the last podcast. Before the band name Wizzerd, were there other names? And what was probably the worst?
Unfortunately, so.
The Reaping.
That's
The Reaping.
Smoke.
Idiosyncrasy.
Don't even
That
drop
was the
that
best
name.
one. That was the worst one.
Crazy.
So you know the word idiosyncrasy, Chris? So instead of the Y, it's an I, and then the S and the I and the N are all capitalized so that you know for sure that we put the word sin into the word idiosyncrasy.
You know that they're doing.
You had to know.
You had to know that some
you had
sinning
to know that
was
it
going
was
on.
metal.
I do have to clear it up that only me and Jalen were involved in that.
that's
In
okay.
the
So
early days.
Osmium Battle Axe as well. That was fun.
That was a cool name.
That was the one before Wizzerd.
Yeah, right before.
That was after Dragon Smoke and right before Wizzerd was Osmium Battle Axe.
I think we'll stay with Wizzerd. I think that's I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so let's see. Blah 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 blah. Oh, a famous person, childhood crush.
Oh man, I have one right now.
I was gonna. Again, we're going back to the magazine, little edible thing. Or?
Yeah, we're going,
There it is, Slave Gallery.
we're going back to the
that's
edible
nice.
complex.
Okay, and childhood crush. You got one? Anybody else got one?
Oh yeah. I mean, Sarah Connor, she was fucking
yes.
awesome. That chick tore it up, man. She's awesome. Same with I don't know, Ellen Ripley.
Okay,
Gotta love aliens, man.
sure. Jalen, go ahead. What do you got?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg, obviously.
Of course.
And Sean Connery, because he really actually give people a slap.
Yes. Sometimes it's unnecessary.
Well, you know I love Jeb Bush.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you know what? I mean, if you're going to pick a Bush, it's got to be one of the sexier ones.
Yeah, like
So, for real though, it's probably token Emma Watson fan.
Right.
And then you've got your little bit more underground Linda Cardellini. You know, she played Velma in the live-action Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah.
She was a character in that sitcom Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
She was hot in that show.
Yeah, you got to. Okay, all right. So we're going to Lisa Ann. Lisa Ann. Oh wow, wow. He's bringing it. A little MILF porn there, rocking it. Okay, fair enough. All right, so here's the thing. We have to describe your music or your sound to a deaf person. How do you do it?
With sign language.
Okay.
That's obviously how you would do it. You'd have to use sign language unless they were really good at reading lips. Yeah. Or you could write it down. I guess you could do that too. Those are your 3 options.
Would you ever think of having them on top of your cab and just feeling the vibration?
Yes.
lay on the floor. Honestly, if you lay it on the floor, it would be loud enough that you would probably feel the frequencies and maybe even be able to register what the notes are.
Okay, fair enough.
I think if we just threw a bunch of sharp objects at them, it would get the point across.
Gotcha. And don't have them sit on the toilet because they're going to get it from both angles then.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want that.
We don't want the double stab. There's no DP here.
Oh, no, we don't.
You're going to mess up your boofer.
None on this tour. Okay. You have an entrance song. What is it when you enter a room?
I'm coming out. No.
Wow.
No.
Or maybe a little Gloria Gaynor, a little I Will Survive.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's tough on the road.
Clown appears. By the poops.
Look up the poops on Spotify. Do yourself a favor.
Devil's Work by Uncle Acid. Love that song.
Oh, man.
It's got to be Head Over Heels by Tears for Fears, man.
I'd say Ventura Highway. I like that one.
Something happens when you're head over heels. Yeah. But, it's like when you want to rule the world, I guess,
Hold on. To be actually serious, it would probably be The Game by Motorhead, because obviously wrestling entrance music is the best entrance music.
Yeah, that works.
No. The Stroke.
Squire? Billy Squire?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right,
We're
okay.
stroking a lot.
There's a lot of, well, it's a long tour. Okay, so have you ever Googled yourself?
Funny story. I think like when the band first started and we first got stuff out on the internet was probably the last time I Googled myself. But every time I Google myself, I find an article from our local newspaper from actually more. It'd be like 8 years ago or something like that. I was in a production of Beauty and the Beast, and that's like the number one thing that shows up. Okay. That next to my Facebook is that, and I was playing the Beast, and you can see this really shitty picture of the backside of me wearing this gigantic wig.
Was that the black wig? That I remember seeing a picture of you, something like.
It's like a blue suit.
Yeah.
Giant black wig.
That when I first Googled you guys, that was what I saw. Holy shit! Anybody else Google themselves?
When I was like 12.
Okay, I gotta say, I Googled myself, unfortunately, because as people know, I'm a massage therapist for a full-time job, and it's not good. It's full gay porn for me. I mean, that's what I'm about. I mean, if you're into that, that's fine.
Well,
or if you're into like whatever, the slave gallery or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's.
What type of massage therapist are we talking here now? Because
Are you familiar with the term Nuru, a Nuru massage?
No.
Well, I don't do that, but I just want to know if you're familiar with it.
Okay. We'll go ahead
We
and
could get
assume
familiar with it.
sexual.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, again, it's a long tour. And you know what? It's not like I'm upset that it's gay porn. I'm more upset that like I'm not getting a royalty. Because if you're gonna use my fucking name, at least give me a cut, something. Give me a taste. I'm not, whatever,
you should
man.
sue porn.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No, nobody has more money than porn.
It revolutionized the whole video industry. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Quick side note.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of porn, on Pornhub, you're aware of the guy who is like, I do your dishes, or like I walk you home and nothing sexual happens.
I don't
And
know this
that's-
guy. What's his name?
It's something Creamer. It's Ryan Creamer, I'm pretty sure, something like that. And it's basically like, I meet your parents and we have a lovely dinner together, and it's all on Pornhub.
Oh my
It's
God, I gotta check
hilarious.
that out.
Really wholesome shit.
It's really wholesome.
That sounds like something we have to put in the
it's
show
freaking
notes.
hilarious.
That's a show note list. Okay, so Crayola crayons
Delicious.
they are wonderful. They're gonna have an edition. What is gonna be your color and why?
Oh, dude. It was just an exciting concept. I don't have anything.
Sphincter pink.
I love that. Yeah, balloon knot brown or something.
Not brown.
That would work. Okay. And what did I put here? Oh, okay. All right. Here's a one of the final things. Do you have any advice for a former boss of yours?
Yes.
Learn how to fucking manage your employees.
There you go.
Learn how to do your goddamn job. And if you suck at your job, have somebody else do your goddamn job. God, get your shit together.
Bravo.
Bite me.
There you go. So, guys, hey, man, I want to wish you the best of luck on this tour. I know you're going to kill it and crush it. I love this. The fact that right now, as we speak, the release is out. It's on Spotify. It's on Bandcamp. We've got Apple Music. It's everywhere that music can be found. And then on top of it, go to Cursed Tongue Records, follow them, get ready for the pre-order, double LP with an extra track. And you guys got any parting words?
Be sure to shop around on Cursed Tongue. Niels is a great guy. Support him.
All the releases on there are super good, too. The music is awesome.
Stay doomed, folks.
I think Jalen has said it.
Live fast, eat ass.
From the side of the...
Bands that play together stay together.
Oh, how sweet. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and safe travels. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you. For sure.
Thanks to the guys in Wizzerd for giving me their time. Sincerely appreciate it. Head over to Cursed Tongue Records and get their latest release. It is going to be out soon. Double LP, gorgeous 180 gram weight vinyl. And they get a couple of extras, a couple of goodies. You know, Niels from Cursed Tongue Records is always great at doing some stuff like that. Also, Rocky Mountain Riff Fest this weekend. This is the reason I wanted to get this podcast up. Because you heard about all the bands. And, you know, if you're in the Montana area, go check it out. Right now, I think we're going to hear a track from Wizzerd from the self-titled album. And the name of the song, you guessed it, Wizzerd. This is Wizzerd.
Can you summon demons, Wizzerd? I'm a wizard, mind you. Despite that truth, I would summon a demon monster and all in hell.
Thank you so much for hanging out towards the end. DoomTombPodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on social media at DoomTombPodcast. Also, don't forget, we have a radio show called The Doom Tomb on craniumradio.com, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sundays. Be there, won't you? Won't you join us? It'll be a great time. I'm off this week, but I will be back next week with more of the best in stoner doom and sludge. And you know what? I got a couple other interviews. It's going to be a really short, quick interview. It got weird real fast. They were kind of freaky and a little bit creepy. Those are the guys in Spliff Ripper. We'll talk to you soon. Until that time, the next time, meantime, and in between time, take care of yourselves, enjoy yourselves, keep going to the shows, buy some of that band merch every once in a while, and don't forget to stay heavy.
I love words. I thank you for hearing my words. I want to tell you something about words that I think is important. I love, as I say, they're my work, they're my play, they're my passion. Words are all we have, really. We have thoughts, but thoughts are fluid, you know. And then we assign a word to a thought, and we're stuck with that word for that thought. So be careful with words. I like to think, yeah, the same words, you know, that hurt can heal. It's a matter of how you pick them. There are some people that aren't into all the words. There are some people that would have you not use certain words. Yeah, there are 400,000 words in the English language, and there are 7 of them you can't say on television. What a ratio that is. 399,993 to 7. They must really be bad. They'd have to be outrageous to be separated from a group that large. All of you over here, you 7. Bad words. That's what they told us they were, remember? That's a bad word. No bad words, bad thoughts, bad intentions, and words. You know the 7, don't you, that you can't say on television? Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits, huh? Those are the heavy 7. Those are the ones that'll infect your soul, curve your spine, and keep the country from winning the war. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. Wow. And tits doesn't even belong on the list, you know? Man. It's such a friendly sounding word. Sounds like a nickname, right? Hey, tits, come here, man. Hey, tits. Hey. Hey, tits, me toots. Toots, tits, tits, toots, man. Sounds like a snack, doesn't it, huh? Yeah. Yes, I know, it is, right, a snack. But I don't mean your sexist snack. I mean new Nabisco tits. The new cheese tits. And corn tits and pizza tits and sesame tits, onion tits, tater tits. Yeah. Bet you can't eat just one. That's true, I usually switch off. But I mean, that word does not belong on the list. Actually, none of the words belong on the list, but you can understand why some of them are there. I mean, I'm not completely insensitive to people's feelings. You know, I can dig why some of those words got on the list. Like cocksucker and motherfucker, those are heavyweight words, you know. Oh, there's a lot going on there, man. Besides the literal translation and the emotional feeling, I mean, they're just busy words. There's a lot of syllables to contend with. And those Ks, those are aggressive sounds. They jump out at you, man. Cocksucker, motherfucker, cocksucker. It's like an assault on you, you know? So I can dig that. Now, we mentioned shit earlier, of course, and 2 of the other 4-letter Anglo-Saxon words are piss and cunt, which go together, of course, but forget that. Little accidental humor I throw there. Piss and cunt. The reason that piss and cunt are on the list is that a long time ago, certain ladies said, those are the 2 I'm not going to say. I don't mind fucking shit, but P and C are out. P and C are out. Which led to such stupid sentences as, okay, you fuckers, I'm going to tinkle now. And of course, the word fuck. The word fuck, I don't really, well, here's some more accidental humor. I don't really want to get into that now. Because I think it takes too long. But I do mean that. I mean, I think the word fuck is a very important word. It's the beginning of life, and yet it's a word we use to hurt one another quite often. And people much wiser than I have said, I'd rather have my son watch a film with 2 people making love than 2 people trying to kill one another. And I, of course, can agree. It's a great sentiment. I wish I knew who said it first, and I agree with that. But I'd like to take it a step further. I'd like to substitute the word fuck for the word kill in all those movie cliches we grew up with, right? Okay, Sheriff, we're gonna fuck you now. But we're gonna fuck you slow. So maybe next year I'll have a whole fucking rap on that word. I hope so. There are 2-way words. Those are the 7 you can never say on television. Under any circumstances, you just cannot say them. Ever, 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 not even clinically. You cannot weave them in on the panel with Doc and Ed and Johnny. I mean, it's just impossible. Forget those 7. They're out. But there are some two-way words, those double meaning words. Remember the ones you giggled at in 6th grade? And the cock crowed 3 times. Hey, the cock crowed 3 times. Hey, it's in the Bible. There are some two-way words, like it's okay for Kurt Gowdy to say, Roberto Clemente has 2 balls on him. But he can't say, I think he hurt his balls on that play, Tony, don't you? He's holding them. He must have hurt them, by God. And the other two-way word that goes with that one is prick. It's okay if it happens to your finger. Yes, you can prick your finger, but don't finger your prick. No, no.